everybody, Kelly here, proud owner of KM Bath Company. I am here in Indiana. Go Hoosiers! I am here to share with you how I make a touch of warmth bar soap. Something unique about my soaps are some of them I will pipe the top like you would in a cupcake or cake, and it actually looks like icing on top of the cake. And so I'm going to show you how that is done here today as well, along with the kind of swirls that show up. In the next couple of days, I'll share another video with you on what it looks like after the soap has hardened and I can cut it. One thing to keep in mind, there is an oil that I try, and I'm hoping to stay true to continue using this oil in all my products, and that is hemp seed oil. So that's going to be so nourishment for your skin if you're suffering from dry skin like I am this time of year. And if you have psoriasis or eczema, it could also help find some relief in that as well. Can't make promises that it'll help everybody, but it could help you. It could, possibility. It's worth a shot if you can't find anything else to help you with. So with no further ado, let's get to the studio and start making soap. Let's go. Come on.
All right, let's get started. I have my scale and I have it on grams. I'm going to weigh out my distilled water right now first. When working with lye, I do make sure I have my goggles and I'm wearing pants and gloves as well. For my safety measure, it's very important to have your protective equipment on. Once I have my distilled water measured out, I'm going to grab my other glass measurement cup and I'm going to add my sodium hydroxide or lye. Once I have my lye poured, I will move my measuring scale out of the way and I'm going to pour my lye mixture into my water. It's very important to make sure you go that way. If you don't and you do water into the lye, it's going to create a chemical reaction and you possibly could burn yourself. So it's very important to do this way. Then I'm stirring, waiting for my lye to dissolve. And while I'm stirring, the lye solution, water solution, is also heating up as well. You can kind of see the steams there as I'm stirring. Oh, there, it's starting to get clear. Woohoo! It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to get the lye to dissolve. I'm checking the temperature of it. As you can see, it is very hot, 168 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, I'm going to work on my oil blend. So I'm going to start off with my coconut oil, which I meant to show you the label. Silly me. I get my coconut oil from Costco. It's always so much easier to get coconut oil out in the summertime. The room's a little bit warmer in the wintertime right now. It is kind of cold, making it a little bit harder to get the coconut oil out. Once I have my coconut oil measured out, I am then going to put in my shea butter. My shea butter I get from Soaper's Choice. This shea butter has a nice creaminess to it. I really like it. Super easy to scoop out. Once I have my coconut oil and shea butter measured out, I will go and melt it. And then I'm going to start pouring my olive oil, which I also get from Costco. After I get my olive oil poured, I will then do my hemp seed oil. The hemp seed oil I do get from Soaper's Choice as well. However, I do have it in an olive oil container because those containers are amazing pouring. So I recommend saving your Costco containers. Nothing like reusing, right? There goes the hemp seed oil. It's a nice, pretty green. Love it. Next, I'm going to put the castor oil in. It's going to be a little bit thicker than the other two oils. Great for getting that nice bubbly with your soap, and it also creates great nourishment as well. Once I have my castor oil poured, I will then do a quick little stir, and I'm going to take my measurement of my lye water again, and then I'll take the heat measurement of my oil blend as well here in just a second. So there I am checking the lye water, 148. Now I'm going to be checking my oil blend, and it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit. I want them to be close to 10 degrees apart. So I need to go warm up my oil again. And now I'm back and it's at 140, which is really close to the lye water, giving you a thumbs up that we're good to go. Next, I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil. I try and get my fragrance oil from Nurture Soap here in Huntington, Indiana. If not, I'd get a lot of my stuff from brambleberry.com as well. Now I'm checking the temperature of my oil. I'm at 108. Checking my lye water. And I'm at 111. We are good to go to start our soap process. So now I'm just doing a quick little stir of my oil, and then I'm slowly going to pour in my lye water. Once I do that, I'll start with my immersion blender to get the trace that I'm wanting. Soapers tend to soap between 100 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about, I try to get to about 110, maybe a little less. And I want to make sure, see that film on the top there? I want to make sure that is gone. And I try and go for, at first, kind of a light trace, but I don't actually pour my soap. So probably about more of kind of close to a medium trace. Since my fragrance oil, it does make the soap tan, so that is why I'm adding titanium dioxide. It's going to keep it a little bit more of a cream. When I hear touch of warmth, I want it to have this creamiest feeling. So I don't want it to be completely brown. So I'm going to go ahead and add my titanium dioxides in, and the reason why I add it now is so it gets stirred in really well. So we're almost there. See how my blender's starting to make indentions in my mixture. So right now I'm at a light trace, and I'm going to separate it out. So the glass bowl is going to be my icing. And then that yellow container is going to be the other color I'm going to use, which is going to be a brown that I got from Nurture Soap. I've never had any issues with their micas there at Nurture Soap. They're fantastic. Highly recommend them. So now I'm adding my brown mica. And since it has a tan already in it with a little bit of white, I'm hoping to get a nice caramely swirl in my soap is the goal. Mix, 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 mix. Just keep on mixing. That's why I kind of prefer doing a light trace when I have coloring involved. I haven't added my fragrance yet. Once you add your fragrance, it starts to thicken up on you. So I start adding the colors and everything more at a light trace. Now I'm adding my fragrance oil into each container. Then I mix that in well too. And then on to the last one here, almost done. Now my mixture is probably getting close to a medium trace now. So I'll move my icing or frosting mixture to this side, and I'll get I use a tall and skinny soap mold, and I'm going to pour my white in first. And I think I pour about maybe halfway up. Whisk it real quick, making sure everything's together. Whisk, 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 whisk. And now let the fun begin. One thing to keep in mind on how soap works, when you start getting that light trace, if you let your soap sit, it's going to continue to thicken. However, you can keep traces to a medium and then another trace higher up than that as well. If you just leave it alone, it'll continue to pretty much trace, and that's what I want to do with my icing. So if your pouring soap mixture gets too thick, whisk it real fast and it'll start to thin out again for you. And now I'm adding that brown. And then I'll take a chopstick and kind of do like a figure-8 motion with it. Help create a swirl. Ideally, I wish it was just a touch thicker, but as I go on, it'll start to thicken. And I'm sure it's going to turn out just fine. And I'll add another layer of my white base. Then repeat again with the brown. And then I'll use my chopstick again to create the figure-8 pattern. Then repeat. And scrape out all the good, everything, get everything out of there. Don't want to waste it, right? I'm super excited. Can't wait to cut into this and share with you the result on my next video. Then the last of the brown. While I'm pouring this, my touch of warmth has a sandalwood smell and a vanilla smell to it. A lot of people like that smell a lot in this area. Then I'll take I like to hit it on my table a couple of times to get all the air bubbles out too. You'll see me pounding it on the table. And then I will grab a spoon too, and it's a good way to create more swirls, and I'll use my chopstick another time as well here. That chocolate looks like pudding. And I wish you could smell it. It smells so good too. Very warm smelling. Makes you want to cozy up by a fire. All right, here's the spoon. It just brings the color a little bit more. Swirls to it. Then I'll go down the other side too. This part's so much fun. Sometimes I wish you could skip the mixing part and go straight to this. Whoops. Hit it a little too hard that time, but it's all right. Clean it off just a little bit. I'm so messy when I soap. Oh well. All right, the fun part. In the meantime, I've probably cleaned up a little bit, letting my icing harden a little bit more. And then I got a piping bag and I'm using a star tip. And I'm just squeezing, then pull straight up. And it's going to look like frosting when we're finished with it. Look how delicious that looks. Except we can't eat it. That is how I'm saving my calories, right? I can guess fantasize through soap. I do like to bake, and that's where I learned how to pipe. So I'm gonna slow it down. Look at that. Yum. It's so pretty. Nothing like piping in slow motion. Speed it back up again. Then once I'm finished that, I have a little bit left to do pretty little rosettes on top. Let's slow it down again. How satisfying. And there you have it. Cake soap.
Woo! We made it. Our first bar soap with me, a touch of warmth, and you learned how to pipe a soap. One thing just to remember when piping your soap is once you start getting a trace with your soap, you kind of want to leave it alone and let it start thickening because the more you mix it, it'll become soft again. And we don't want that, then your piping won't be stiff enough and it'll just droop. I hope you come back in the next couple of days. I hope I have that video ready for you to see the results of what the soap bar will look like. I'm sure it'll be beautiful, like always. That's a joke. Sarcasm. They aren't always beautiful. I make mistakes. I am human. Anyways, please come back. I hope you had fun today in learning how to pipe soap. Take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you all soon.